Alright, what's going on YouTube? In today's video is going to be a post review over the Avengers Endgame movie. I'm going to be talking about the movie from the beginning to the middle to the end. So if you haven't seen the movie, I suggest that you click out of this video, go see the movie, and then come back to this video to see what I'm talking about and what I'm reviewing over and the questions I still have. Alright, so for starters, the movie is 10 out of 10. The movie is amazing. I literally cried tears of joy at the end when everybody came back. I was like, oh my God. And when I saw because I am the biggest Spider-Man fan. When I see Spider-Man came in through the portal he webbed in, I was like, I was so excited. I couldn't hold it in. I really couldn't. I kind of knew that was gonna happen, but the way they put it all together and produced it and directed it, oh my God. That movie's 10 out of 10. That movie deserves an Oscar. Everybody who played an important role deserves an Oscar. Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, everybody. Thanos, Nebula, Black Widow, Jesus Christ. Everybody deserves an Oscar. All right. Oh, man. So, in the beginning of the movie, we see what the future is, present time, after what happened at the end of the last movie when Thanos said what he was gonna do, and I can respect him for that because he did what he set out to do, and he didn't let nothing stop him, and in the end, snapped his fingers and he disintegrated half of the world's population. Yeah, half of the world's population. And so we see, in the beginning, we see the remaining Avengers or superheroes, or the rest of the superheroes. We see how they are after what had happened. We see everyone's distraught, everybody's sad, everybody's kicking themselves in the butt because they couldn't get the job done. So we see Thor. He was very distraught and angered at himself because at the end of the last movie, instead of cutting off his arm, instead of cutting off the arm with the glove or slitting Thanos' throat or just cutting his head off completely, he just stabs him in the throat. You can't do that. He has the power. He has the ultimate power in his hand just by doing this, and you're gone. And all your friends are gone. And you decide to stab him in the throat, in the stomach? You can't do that. So when he stabbed him in the throat, he said, I forgot what he said. Thanos is the greatest villain of all time. Behind Joker, he is the greatest villain of all time. But he was like, he said something. Oh, he said you should have gone for the head. I was like, what? He's like, no. I was like, yeah, no, you should have slit his throat or something. You should have cut off his hand. Yeah, all the power. All the power in that little hammer. Blah! Just take his arm off. That's it. But you see, he was very distraught at himself, mad at himself, contemplating on what he should have did. He was a shell of his former self. Basically, that's basically the basic way to put it, and the simplest way to put it. He was a shell of himself. He didn't know what he was gonna do with his life because he felt like he failed. He failed to get the job done. And so everyone else is sad. Tony Stark, as you can see, he fought Thanos the hardest. And he tried the hardest out of everybody. He tried his best to fight him off. But in the end, he couldn't match up to Thanos. And Thanos took my favorite superhero. He took Spider-Man. Me and Tony, we was both going through it, bro. I was crying on the inside. I was distraught, man. Me and him were both distraught. And yeah, and then Captain America, he lost Peggy, his girlfriend. Yeah, and the bow and arrow guy, I don't know his name. He's the least character everyone cares about. He's the last one everybody cared about. He lost his daughters and his wife. I don't know who Black Widow lost, but yeah, no, she lost the Avengers. The other Avengers, those are her only family. So yeah, and then yeah, and then we see that they were trying to find Thanos, and with the help of Captain Marvel, who actually saved Iron Man and Nebula that were trapped in space, and they were gonna die soon. If she hadn't came, they would have died soon. So she came and rescued them, brought them back to Earth, brought them back to the Avengers headquarters, where they next planned to find Thanos. And then 3 weeks, they saw that he used the stones 3 weeks ago. So they went to track down where he was. And they found out where he was. And so Captain Marvel crashes into his house and they all beat him up. They all hold him down, and they threaten to ask him where are the stones, and he's like, I destroyed the stones so no one else could use them. That man is powerful in here, and here, and in here. But yeah, he said he used the stones. He used the stones and destroyed the stones so no one else could use the stones. And there was like, he's lying. Tell us where the stones are. And his daughter Nebula, the robot one, with the black eyes and stuff, she was like, my father is many things, but a liar he is not. And so she already knew he was telling the truth, so there was no dealing with it anymore. So, and like I said with Thor, he was so enraged and upset. He came out of nowhere and sliced his throat, which he should have did in the last movie. He should have did that in the last movie, just to get and this movie would have no purpose. There would be no Avengers Endgame if he would have slit his throat in the last movie. But yeah, he slit his throat and he beheaded him. Like they did in the medieval times, he beheaded them, and they went off with their day. So, as the movie continues, they're trying to figure out what to do next. What can they do? They lost all hope. They don't know what to do. Their plan was to actually interrogate him to see where are the stones, and they actually could have did it. If he didn't destroy the stones, that little team, I kind of believe that they would have got the stones back in reverse time and snapped his fingers to reverse time to bring everybody back, because they had the assist of Captain Marvel, who could have definitely got the job done. It helped a lot, and she helps at the end too. Yeah, she helps a lot at the end. But they still almost lost. But yeah, she does help a lot in the end. But yeah, they were gonna use the stones to ultimately reverse time to bring everybody back. But since he destroyed the stones, they couldn't do that. So now they're trying to figure out another way. And so that's when Ant-Man, he comes out of some time portal area or some quantum area, because he has the ability to shrink to an atom. Yeah, shrink to an atom all the way to like a giant. But he managed to get out of the quantum area or portal or whatever, and then he comes back to Earth and he realizes something's different. Like everyone's gone, and this and that. So he travels back to the Avengers headquarters, and he discusses with everyone else how there is actually a way that they can go back in time and use a time machine to go back in the past to get all the stones, and then bring them back in the present, put them on to make a new glove, and then snap, bring everybody back. But Tony Stark, he doesn't want to help because he feels like he's done his best and there's nothing else he could do. He already has a wife, as you all know. He has a new daughter, and in the present time, so he doesn't want to jeopardize that by going back in the past and trying to fix things. But because if they're going back in the past and they do not complete it, there's a high possibility that they all could die, and he doesn't want to die trying. But then in the end, he figures out a way to use time travel to go back in time to get all the stones. So the movie at this point, it just really like a little steady base of them just trying to convince Tony to help them and to come back and help. And with himself and him fighting himself, trying to be a better person and trying to actually do what's right. Because he feels like if he doesn't do what's right, he can't sleep at night. He always wants to do his best to help the world and make everything right. So at this point they're making the time machine. The Hulk, the character, the Hulk, what they did to the Hulk is retarded. Anyway, yeah, they made that dude look stupid. But yeah, they make the time machine. They go back in the past, way before they were fighting Thanos. They went back in the past. They got all the stones. Nebula, she gets her brain and stuff get what's the word? It gets all messed up with the past Nebula, who was working with Thanos and his other sister and her other sister Gamora. So they conflict. The two Nebulas conflict, and the past Nebula, she helps foil the Avengers' plans by taking all the knowledge out of the present Nebula and using her present knowledge and putting it in the past Nebula's brain so she can know what's going on. And also she used the past Nebula's. Now, the past Nebula uses the present Nebula's knowledge to help Thanos see what the Avengers are doing right now. So he's in the past trying to find the stones, but then he realizes that the Avengers are trying to go back in the past and get the stones way before he's got all the stones and snap his fingers and all that. So he goes out to foil their plan as well. And so now the Avengers, they have the stone, they have some of the stone, they have most of the stones. And once they get all the stones, basically Bruce feels like he's the only one who can put on the new glove with all the stones. He feels like he's the only one that can put on the glove and survive the glove. Because remember that Thanos, he destroyed the stones with the glove. And when he destroyed it, his arm was shriveled up in the beginning. You could see it. His whole left arm was like short and shriveled. So Hulk feels like he's the only, Bruce Banner, same thing. He feels like he's the only one that could snap his fingers and survive it, because the power of the glove and the stones, they're all made out of gamma, which the Hulk / Bruce Banner is made out of. So he feels like he was meant to do this. So he snaps his fingers, he reverses, he does it. But then he successfully, oh my God, whatever. He successfully snaps his fingers. So he feels like everything is okay. But as soon as they let their guard down, Thanos and his whole army from the past, they come and blow up the whole Avengers headquarters. They blow up the whole building. They ruin the whole thing. And so now everyone's trapped in debris and rocks and stuff. Now he orders Nebula to go get him the glove. And so that bow and arrow dude, I don't know what's his name, whatever. He finds the glove. He picks it up and tries to escape. But then Thanos' dogs from the last movie, the ones who were fighting at T'Challa's the Africa area, he escapes those and stuff like that. All right, basically in the end, Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man end up fighting Thanos 1-on-3. Thanos beats all of them, and he almost kills Captain America. But then, another thing, Captain America, he is actually worthy of wielding the Thor's old hammer. So that was a very interesting aspect too. Yeah, he was able to equip the hammer. So yeah, and then just before everything feels like it's about to go to SHIT, the portal opens. A whole bunch of portals open. The ones that Doctor Strange be using. All those portals open, and everybody who died comes back, and they fight Thanos' army, and in the end, Thanos, he equips the glove. Once again he almost snaps his fingers, but then Tony, he did something. Just before Thanos was able to snap his finger, he grabbed all the gems or something like that. And then, and Thanos was like, just before he snapped his finger, he's like, I am inevitable or something like that. And then he snapped his finger, it didn't work. And then the camera pans to Iron Man. And Iron Man's like, he has all the gems, all the stones in his robot hand. He's like, and he says, and I am Iron Man. Boom. And when he did that, all of Thanos's his whole army disintegrated, and then he eventually disintegrates as well. But like I said, when he snapped his finger, half of his body was just ruined, he didn't survive that snap. So Iron Man ends up dying in the end, and then all the rest of the Avengers, they all grieve and stuff like that. So at the end of the last movie, Spider-Man dies, and Tony is sad and stuff. And then in Avengers Endgame, Tony dies and Spider-Man comes back. He comes back so quick, and he's so excited to be back. Him and Tony hug it out, but in the end when he dies, he's like, Tony, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, and stuff like that. So in the end, they're all they have Tony's funeral, and they're all grieving and stuff like that. And that's basically how the movie ends. Oh, the movie actually ends with Captain America. He was the one who set out to go back in time to put the stones back to where they were in the past, so they don't mess up the past and alter the future. But he stays in the past to be with his girlfriend Peggy, and then in the present time, Captain America is just an old man, and he feels like he's fine with everything. He's fine with staying in the past and with him being an old man in the future. So yeah, that's basically how Avengers Endgame ends. The movie is, once again, 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, make sure you guys go out and see it. This is a very long video as well. But that is the end of my video. Please comment down what you guys think about the video. If you haven't seen already, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.